MassMEP vlog with Lisa Derby Oden. Our first episode, When the Going Gets Tough, Manufacturers Find a Way.
Good morning, Lisa Derby Oden here, Project Development Coordinator for MassMEP, and I'm with Erik. Erik, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, Erik Piasio, President of American Surgical Company in Salem, Massachusetts. We manufacture devices for the neurosurgical and ENT markets.
Great, let's go ahead and get started. It's really great to have you here today, Erik. I know that, everybody has a different experience as we make our way through this COVID-19 thing. And so I'm wondering if you can just give us a little bit of background and bring us up to speed of what your time has been like as a company. You must have been deemed an essential employer early on, right away.
Right. As a medical device manufacturer, we were considered and still are considered to be an essential company. And I'll admit, in the beginning, it was frightening. We weren't really sure what was going to happen to our sales. We weren't really sure what was going to happen to our employees. So we really spent the first 2 to 3 weeks of this crisis in triage mode. A lot of time planning, a lot of time reacting to events that were outside of our control, a lot of time figuring out how to continue operating as normal as possible. But I'll probably by the first to second week in April, things settled down and we kind of figured out our routine. And really since then, it's been normal, I guess, all things considered. We've been able to keep production going. We've been basically fully staffed. Thanks to the PPP, we haven't had to lay off or furlough anyone. We've just been making the best, I guess, of a difficult situation.
That's really great to hear. I know that, there's been such a variety of things that companies have gone through with that. And it's, I think anybody who's, working, I feel lucky to be working, consider how many people are unemployed. I know that there has been, a certain amount of maybe anxiety even amongst those that are still working if they're going in and, working around others. Can you talk a little bit about that, like maybe some of the precautions that you've taken for your employees?
Right. So we have a clean room on site with a validated cleaning protocol that we've actually introduced to the rest of our facility. So we've been very diligent about sanitizing all touch surfaces. We are encouraging, obviously, social distancing. If I leave my office, I have to be wearing a mask like everyone else in the facility. We've been following CDC guidelines to a T. And really, in the beginning, there was a lot of anxiety with our employees just because no one really knew what was going on. So we've spent a fair amount of time just educating people about at least what we knew about the situation, about the virus. So there wasn't that fear factor that there was initially.
Oh, that's great. I know we've heard from some companies that, like the rumor mill early on kind of got going in their companies and everybody had to like really ramp up on communication channels to, really just get what the real facts were out so that people could kind of calm down some and that kind of thing. So
Right.
Is your workforce now, are they no concerns about coming in and it's sort of normal for them at this point, or?
There's still anxiety. I mean, you're going to be around people. We work in relatively close confines in the clean room. Admittedly, everyone is gowned up. Everyone is wearing masks. We've been doing that for years. And really, we're just trying to keep work cells together inside and outside of the clean room. So, but I think, anytime you're going to be exposed to individuals outside of your family unit, I think there's going to be concern. And it's not as bad as it was in the beginning, but I think as long as this crisis lasts, that anxiety is going to exist.
Yeah, I think you raise a good point with that. I think that that's very true. So I know that you make like the Cadillac of surgical sponges and that kind of thing, from what I understand. Did you shift to making any PPE at all during this time?
Yep. So in the beginning, we actually used, and we've still been using our 3D printer to manufacture shields that we've been donating to the police department and the local hospital. And we've actually just, we're getting close to launching it, a product that we've developed with a hospital in Boston that's going to be used for endoscopic procedures of the nose and throat. So that's
Wow.
it's a modified surgical mask that we're excited about, and you know, we able to do our part to get these surgeries going again.
Yeah, you know, that's so great. It's so great to hear about like just all the efforts that different people, companies, individuals, and that kind of thing. Everybody wants to help in some way during this, and it's heartwarming to hear all the little things that and big things that companies and people are doing too.
Right.
Hey, do you have a crystal ball looking into the future, short term and long term?
Yeah, so for us, I mean, we are really dependent upon the health of the hospitals. So
Yep.
initially, when the hospitals canceled the elective procedures and started laying off their non-emergency personnel, it had a pretty big impact on us. Now that we're starting to see states relax those restrictions and hospitals get back to some semblance of normal, we're starting to see our sales pick up. We anticipate being back to normal sales volume by August or September. We're hoping and we think that if there is, God forbid, a second wave in the fall, the hospitals will be better prepared. So we won't have quite the impact.
Yeah.
But we're really, at this point, keeping our fingers crossed. So our low water mark was April. We're moving in the right
Yep.
direction now, but we do think it's probably going to be 3 months before for at least our market recovers.
Yeah. Well, you know, at least people are being able to look ahead, I guess. Have you had any like legislation that's gotten in your way with any of this, or do you have any suggestions of legislation of any kind that might benefit us in the future?
So we have been, over the last few years, really intentional about making sure that our raw materials are domestically sourced. So that's it helped. We primarily do that for quality reasons, but what we're
Yeah.
finding is now we have very, very few issues procuring raw materials. So lead times haven't changed very much. You know, and if anything that I think can be done to encourage reshoring and you know, additional American manufacturing, I think is going to be highly, highly beneficial in the future when we will. I think it's inevitable face maybe not another pandemic quite like this, but other global crises.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's great. I know we've heard the supply chain issue from others too. I think that's a kind of a common thing. So I think it's, you know, great to add like one more voice to that with this. Anything else you'd like to add to our little update here?
No, I mean, other than, you know, we've been very, very, I think, lucky and we're grateful for where we are, all things considered. I mean, I know it's just a lot of carnage economically going on out there, and we haven't had to lay anyone off. We've been able to keep our team, our family intact, and I'm just very, very grateful for that. And I just hope everyone stays safe and recover from this as quickly as possible.
Great. Thank you so much for your time today, Erik.
Thank you, Lisa.